Alright, so these next couple of questions are all going to be about using key features and important parts of the function of the equation. So first thing we're going to look at is what is the y-intercept. Anytime I've got a y-intercept, it's the number being multiplied out in front. So for example, this one may throw you off a little bit. This could be written like this, which makes the 1 the y-intercept. Here we've got 4. So we're going to do y-intercept is 4. So it's 0, 4. Y-intercept here is 0, negative 1. And of course our y-intercept here is negative, or not negative, is just 1/2. So we have, oops, it is 0, 1/2. Because it is a y-intercept. Okay, next thing. Factor. Factor, pretty straightforward. What's in the parentheses? In this case, the 3 is what's in the parentheses. So that middle one could be a little tricky. As long as you understand what's being written there, you're good to go. And then over here we have 20. So we have 3 different factors. So factor is 0.2. Here's our factor. And 20 is our factor. So my penmanship is getting terrible, folks. Alright, last but not least, we have to take a look at the type and the rate. So the type. Type is going to be super fast to identify. Is your factor less than 1? Is that less than 1? Yes, so that is decay. Is 3 less than 1? No. That is growth. Is 20 less than 1? No, that is growth. So remember, your factor will never be negative. It's only going to be growth or decay. Bigger than 1 or between 0 and 1. And the last part we have here is the rate. Well, this is 0.2, which means it is 0.8 below 1, which means that that is 80% decay. So a way to remember that is always take your number. So I'm going to do this in purple. If I take 1 and I subtract my factor, that's going to give me my 0.8, which is 80%. I subtracted because I was below. Okay, here, if I take 1 and, oops, I want to not start with 1. I'm going to start with 3 with my factor because I'm over 1. If I take 1 away, that equals 2. I got to multiply that by 100 to get 200% growth. Okay? Yes, it's possible to have 200% growth. Wait till you see this next one. Since this is over, I'm going to take the factor, subtract 1, and I'm going to get 19. I have to multiply that by 100, and I'm going to get 1,900% growth. Okay, so this is the rate. So the rate will always be written as a percent, and we get it by asking ourselves how far away from 0 or how far away from 1 is our factor. So coming down here to our 2, you're thinking this was multiple choice. It's not multiple choice, it's 2 separate problems. So here we go. This number bigger than 1 certainly is. That's growth. That is our factor. So 5/4, if you want to change that to a decimal, would be 1.0. Change that to a percent, that's 120%. How much over 100% is that? That is 20% over. Okay, here's another one. 7/8. So 7/8, you're going to ask yourself, is that growth or decay? That in fact is decay. So 7/8 we can write as a fraction, or we can write it as 0.825, sorry. So that means our rate is 82.5%, but that's below 100% by, we're going to call that 17.5% decay. You know what, I'm doing this quick in my head. Let's do a little double check on the old calculator just to make sure it is the afternoon. So let's take a look here. So 7 divided by 8 is point. I would have been right. Should have gone with my gut. Been too long of a week, folks. So this is 0.875. So let's clean this up a little bit. 0.875, which would be 87.5%. So 100 minus 87.5% is 12.5%. All right. So quick, easy ways to look and see what the factor, the y-intercept, the type, and the rate are from an equation.